Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech live for this Wednesday, August 20th. It was supposed to be eNote 2 launch today. I don't know what's going on with that. We'll talk about it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm Rod, your host, your friendly neighborhood eInk purveyor of eInk and all things tech, pretty much. This is the show where we talk about all things tech and eInk. Like I said, I'm here in cloudy Philadelphia today with some really good friends of mine in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. Like the co-host of the show. We're going to talk about a couple of things today. The biggest thing is going to be the Pixel 10 launch. So the Made by Google event is going to be today. You guys let me know how I am in the voice situation, because I haven't replaced this cable yet. And it's the wonky one. It's the replacement cable. We had an unfortunate series of events that happened recently, and I have to replace this cable. But this replacement is not going to do it. So you guys let me know how I am in the audio department, and we'll continue on. Again, thank you guys for being here. I wanted to talk about the eNote 2 today. And we will talk about it a little more. We'll talk about some of the ins and outs. And if you guys have any questions about it, you let me know. The video was supposed to launch today for the unboxing video for the launch event. There's a couple things happened with that, and I didn't get the okay to launch that because I didn't get the okay for the launch. So apparently maybe the delay is being held back for a day or two. So I'm not 100% on that. When I get more information, I'll let you guys know about that. But let's get the applause going for the chat for being here early today. I appreciate you guys showing up early, getting the chat going. I really do. We got Mr. Mike in here. Who else we got? We got Aaron in here. We got who else? We got Owen, as always. We got Owen up in here. I appreciate Owen for being here. And we got Alex Pitt. Alex Pitt was in here early. Thanks for being here, Alex, and good morning. So we got a few things to talk about, like I said. So let's jump right into those. Actually, let's get to I see what's being said in the chat here. I would use a Rode cable. They are the best. See, the Rode cable I had is the one I broke. I went to go adjust this mic and put it away the other day, and when I went to go adjust it and turn this part right here, clip this metal part, I didn't even think about it. I just kept pushing it, and it totally bent and broke off. Now, I thought the mic was broken, but the mic wasn't broken. Thank goodness. But I had that was a Rode mic. It was a really long, thick Rode mic. That mic cable was awesome. So you're right, Mike. Rode does make some really good mic cables. I still don't know where Rod gets all of. Dude, I'm independently rich. No, it's joking. I'm what some might call hood rich, if you will. Me and my friend Rod will spend thousands developing a stylish nib. Is also too cheap to spend $20 on a new mic cable. The duality of man, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I never said my priorities were in place, okay? I never said that. This is not... I'm still developing... can't touch this mic. I'm still developing the priority system. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and jump right into the stories, shall we, you guys? All right, so the first thing we got up here is going to be about the Pixel launch day event. So we got some details about the Pixel devices that are going to be coming out. I'm excited about this. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how many of you guys out there are Pixel owners or potential Pixel owners out there who are looking into the launch day for the Pixel 10 phone. So we got the Pixel 10, we got the Pixel 10 Pro, we got the Pixel 10 Pro XL, we got the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. The Fold. Now, I'm looking forward to that Fold because I'm looking forward to it being a little stubbier than normal. I like that look. It's apparently the look. We saw some mock-ups a week ago of the iPhone's foldable that's supposed to be a more stubby, like the Microsoft Duo was back in the day. So I'm looking forward to that. I really do like that profile for a foldable phone, and I hope they do keep that. It didn't look like in the preview we saw. You never know though. I want to see what they do today. So we're gonna take a look at that. I'll bring these details to you guys tomorrow. The finalized details of all this stuff, we'll talk about those things tomorrow. Like Mr. Mike says, like me, your brain has a great deal of neuro plasticity, and our priorities consistently change based on new stuff that comes out. Bam. That's what it is. You hit the nail on the head, Mike. I find something, I fixate on it for a while to get it where I want it to be, and because I can't really focus on something, and other things are in the background looming. It's like, you got looming things. No, I don't. I'm focused. I've got nothing looming, bro. Priorities, plasticity. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, back to the story though. So we got those devices that are here. We got definite pricing. Now, we don't have a lot of definite specs for this, but it seems like now we got some definite pricing. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And we'll talk about the details along the way of this particular launch. So the pricing we have here comes from Evan Blass over on X, aka, if you care, used to be formerly known as Twitter. 128 gigabytes on the Pixel 10, going for $799. 256 gigabytes on the Pixel 10, going for $899. So high spec model for the baseline model is going to be $900. We got the Pixel 10 Pro, 128 gigabytes for $999. 256 gigabytes for $1,099. 215 gigabytes for $1,219, and 1 terabyte, nice, for $1,000, essentially $450 there. Pixel 10 Pro XL, we got the entry level at 256 gigabyte storage coming in at $1,199. We got 212 gigabytes coming in at $1,319, and 1 terabyte coming in at $1,549. Pixel 10 Pro Fold, entry level variety, the lowest amount of storage comes in at 256, $1,799. Oh man, they're going over $2,000 for these things now. 212 gigabytes for $1,119, and 1 terabyte for $2,149. What do we think about this pricing, guys? I admit the pricing for that Pro Fold is getting redonkulous, right? It's getting crazy. It looks like it's wearing an eye patch. It is, kind of, sort of. It's a visor. Think, not Data. Was it Data? Not Data from Star Trek, but LaForge? Was it LaForge that had the visor? You guys, let me know. I know we got some Trekkies out there. Morning, Rock. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, we're just here talking about the pricing for the Pixel phone the Pixel phones that are going to be launched hopefully today, or at least the pre-orders are going to be available today at least. And talking about the Made by Google event that's going to happen today at 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Too high? Yeah, I mean, you know what though? I mean, if we're looking at the entry level ones, $800, okay, I'm cool with that. The highest level one you can get though, for the non-foldable, $1,500, even that, okay. Because I wouldn't need a terabyte. Give me 512, I'm fine. So that's $1,300. But the Fold being over $2,000, they got to come down in price for me to care. And not only, because the thing is, you're making concessions if you go with a foldable phone. Like, you're always making some concessions. The cameras are never as good. The processor is never as good. Okay, I mean, the storage is there. I don't know about the RAM though. You know what I'm saying? The screen, they typically don't have the best screens because of the dual nature of the situation. So you're making concessions for the foldable phone when you get it, for the foldability of it and the size advantage you get with having that. But spec wise, if you need something particular, the variety vanilla candy bar style phone might still be good for you. We should do a group watching of the event. That would be cool as crap. I've been trying to figure out how to get that to work on YouTube, because I would start a live just to watch the events with you guys, but they flag me when I do that. But there's a way you can do it. I got to figure that out. If I can figure that out today, I'll go live. Good morning, She. Oh, eInk, how's it going? Good morning. Work lurking, Mike. Morning, all. Good morning, Sheik. Counter argument. Phone cameras and processors are at a point where good enough is pretty dang good. 100%. I'm with you. 100%. The phones, and I've said this a while, DeRock, I think the phones can become our everyday computers. I mean, if we had a situation to where you could bring your phone into a situation and put it into a dock, now your phone's running an operating system, a desktop operating system, say like Dex or something like that from the Samsung devices. You throw your phone is your thing. You throw it into a dock on your desk. Now it becomes your PC. It becomes your personal computer, right? Not PC in that it runs Windows. Although that would be nice, you know. Man, listen. If Microsoft were to make a phone that you could dock into something that would give you a mobile version of Microsoft when you're not using it. But you know what? Microsoft has given up making their own mobile version. They were they were like, listen, we're just gonna go with Android, okay? We clearly don't know what we're doing here. And I agree with them. They didn't know what they were doing. But the climate has changed. They may want to re-enter that market at this point. If they could give me a mobile experience that was good enough, and then let me dock that Windows phone and give me the Windows experience, holy man. We got, like DeRock just mentioned, we have the processing power for that right now in these phones. The iPhone? Come on. Chill out. The iPhone could run most people's workflows. I don't care what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't even take advantage of the iPhone's, the power that the iPhone has. Like most people in their daily workflows wouldn't even take advantage of that kind of power that the newest iPhone has. So we could definitely run all of our stuff. Most people could. I know I could. The only thing I probably wouldn't be able to do with cell phone like power is editing. Editing like 4K, 8K files, like large, 4.22, 160 megabit files, 10-bit. Like I need a PC for that, or a Mac, like what I'm doing now. I wouldn't be able to do that on a phone, but that's such a small percentage of what I do. Most everything else I could do on a phone. Well, not on a phone, but you get it. The power that these phones have these days. I'll leave nice pics to photographers. I don't really need to document my life. Cameras aren't really that big a deal when I buy a phone. Well, well, to be honest with you, these days it doesn't have to be, because all the cameras are good. You know what I mean? It used to be that you picked a Pixel if you wanted the best cell phone camera pictures. Pixel dominated for a few years back there. And then the iPhone kind of kicked into high gear. Samsung kicked it into high gear. But the Pixel dominated for a good 2 or 3 years with the best pictures coming out of a cell phone. So, right now it doesn't even matter. Like any phone you get any phone. Oh God, did I mess up the sound? Any phone you get these days is going to be good enough for pictures. Like the differences in pictures on cameras or cell phones these days, the top tier cell phones. I mean, you can get a really crappy cell phone and it's going to take really crappy pictures. But the top tier phones like the iPhone, the Pixels, the Galaxies, any one of those phones are going to take really good pictures, and the differences are going to be so not minute because they're going to be big differences, but the differences are all cosmetic. They're not technical differences as far as technicalities go. They're like, oh, one takes warmer pictures. One does less post-processing than the other. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? DeRock says, I really support those folks using a phone as a mobile PC. I like with Dex, yes. But I do a lot of DBA work, and a phone wouldn't cut it. The phone wouldn't in all cases. But I think in most cases, for most people, the phone would be more than adequate. And so adequate, like I said, I do a lot of power and PC intensive stuff. The only two things that I do that I would not be able to use a phone for is the video editing, because picture editing, I can get by picture editing with an iPhone. And you know what I mean? Give me iPhone power on a bigger screen. I could do editing, picture editing all day. Video editing, again, different story. Just because of the sustained nature of video editing and the sustained hit to the processor that's going on. And video gaming, which we're going to talk about here in a second. That may change. All right, here we go. What else we got here? Those are the prices, though. Now, these are the things that they're talking about as far as phones. We got other pricing here for things that aren't the phone. So let's go ahead and talk about those here. So for the non-phone pricing things for this made by Google event that's happening today at 1 p.m. Eastern time, we got a 41 millimeter Pixel Watch 4 coming in at $349. We got the another 41 millimeter that has cellular, right? This both have Wi-Fi, but this one has cellular LTE. $449 for that one. The 45 millimeter Wi-Fi only $399, and the 45 millimeter with cellular LTE is $499. Pixel Bud 2As $129. Not a bad price, but that is up from the $99 it used to be. Again, or not again, but this was 4 years ago, so inflation, I guess. Pixel Snap Stand Ring. This is interesting because this is supposedly Google's answer to Apple's MagSafe. So this Pixel Snap is basically like the magnets. They're going to have magnets in the phone and the cases. Now, I don't really, again, my phone has, check it out. I love this case. My phone mimics that stuff with a Pixel. So this is a Pixel, but I have magnets in the phone here, and this will connect to any MagSafe thing. Even better because these are stronger magnets than what Apple ships with MagSafe. I'm hoping that Google ships way stronger magnets than what Apple ships with MagSafe too. MagSafe magnets are trash, in my opinion. They're not up to snuff. Like, I don't know what magnets they're using, but they need to pick better ones. They for sure need to pick better ones. So we got the Pixel Bud A2As, $129. The Pixel Snap Stand Ring, which is $29.99. Pixel Snap Charger, $39.99. So the charger you need to work with the stand ring, but you don't need the stand ring to work with the charger. So, and from what I understand, the charger is like a puck, just like what the Apple Watch uses. Pixel Flex 65 watt charger. This is interesting. Really powerful charger. I mean, that comes in the box with it. I don't think Apple ships this kind of charging with their, not standard. You may get a weak charger. 30 watts. 35 max, maybe. $60 for this, though. So, man, that's a lot for a charger, but okay. Pixel Snap charger with stand, $70. So, those are the prices for the devices that they're talking about here. I'm interested in the majority of this stuff. Super interested. Any one of us out here planning on getting a new Pixel or thinking about getting a new Pixel? Maybe you have a Pixel now and you're like upgrading to something better. I'd like to see hear your thoughts on this. Again, if anyone wants to talk about any of this stuff in the Discord channel, we have a Red Spot Tech Discord channel, link in the description. We also have a call-in section that we do. If you want to do a call-in and just like raise your voice about something that you heard here today, put us on to something that we are not talking about, just give us feedback or whatever the case. We have a call-in section. You can hit that link up in the description. It's the event channel. It's labeled call-in, but it's like a radio call-in thing. You get it. You get it. You really don't get it. I get it. I get it. All right. What else we got here? I'm really interested in that. I'm really interested in what Google has to say today, so I'm gonna be tuned in. Wait, what? Not even a little. No, I've been trying not to hog your segments. Dude, you're not hogging the segments. You're taking advantage of a feature we're trying to push on the show. But, let me know. I'm here. Windows was doing their version of Apple's continuity, but they canned it when they didn't penetrate the phone market. I liked that they were trying to do that. I thought that was very cool, and they did can it. But you can still do that somewhat, to some degree. Not to the degree they were trying to do with with Windows Mobile, but you can do that with Android now, to some degree. But imagine in a corp office setup being just cubes with a monitor and keyboard on a USB-C dock, and everyone just plugs in their phone. Yes, that's awesome, right? The Rock. That is, I think that would be awesome. I mean, I would want that future to where we could do that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got Owen in here. Hey, if you want to say something, Owen, go ahead and throw the notification thing up, and I'll bring you up. Yeah, I think that's cool. Okay, I'm in. I have opinions. All right. Well, I'll invite you then, Owen. You've been invited to speak, Owen. Oh. Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? Oh, let's switch over real quick. Let me get us over here. All right, you guys. We're using the call-in section now, so we're gonna switch over to the Discord and see if we can.
Okay.
All right, there we go. All right, we all set, man. What do you want to say, Owen? And how's it going anyway?
I'm good. I heard that their MagSafe thing was exactly that. They would just use that Apple had donated the form factor for MagSafe so that it could become an industry standard. So I don't know whether
Oh.
this is going to be a one-stop. But I thought you were kind of smoking crack when you said that the magnets weren't strong enough, dude.
Dude, they're
Like,
not. Listen, I have a
no.
MagSafe iPhone back here. It won't stick to anything. I literally had to go and buy the same case that I used for that phone
Oh,
for that reason.
you're talking about in the case?
No, I'm talking about on the phone itself.
What phone do you have?
I don't know what iPhone it is. I don't know what number it is. I'll have to check it. But it's
Like mine's solid. I stick this to the fridge and everything. Like it's a
which one do you
really
have?
strong magnet. I've got the iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Okay. Well, maybe the later generations got stronger magnets, but the one that I have right now,
Maybe.
yeah, the one that I have, because I
Uh,
think I don't think I have that late of a one. The one I have is either a 13 or a 14. But they might have fixed the magnets. But the magnets I have won't stick to anything. Legitly will not stick to anything.
I'm curious about what Google will do, because the thing is, the phones that they have the same problem as Apple. The phone form factors have nothing compelling about them to make you want to say, "Wow, I want to buy that phone." You know,
Which phone we're talking about?
like
The Apple?
Apple or Google, like neither one of them. I look at it and I think I need to have that because I want to play with it. You know, because I think that your first instinct with a phone should be an emotional response where you want to play with it, where you want to hold it in your hand and you want to get a feel with it, and you want to know what it feels like to be swiping your thumb up and down the
Absolutely,
screen. Like
absolutely.
it's a tactile response.
I
And I
like.
don't
Well,
have
see,
that with Apple or Google these days.
my experience is different. I feel like I want the Pixel. This is the first year I've ever wanted a Pixel because of how it looked. No, scratch that.
Really?
This is the second year I've wanted a Pixel because of how it looked. I didn't pull the trigger last year because it was the Fold, but they brought the expanded all out visor that the Fold had last year. They brought that to the standard phone, so that is what I like. I really do like them going all in on that visor in the back. That was what
I'm sorry
attracted
you're
me to the
losing your
phone.
eyesight, brother.
No, that is to me. I love that. I love
Really?
that. It's not clearly it's
See,
not for everybody, but I love that
no,
look.
no, no. I get it, because Apple are doing the same thing. They're moving the visor and like making a big box out of
Yeah,
it, and I'm just like, whatever.
yeah.
Like, the only thing that's got me thinking about upgrading my phone this year, because my iPhone 15 Pro Max is immaculate. It's black, it's beautiful, and it does everything I need it to do.
Hmm.
And like the only thing that's tempting me to upgrade this phone this year is the color orange,
Ooh, that is nice, right?
right?
Yeah,
So,
I agree with you. I agree with that. That is the only reason I even looked at the new iPhones this year is because of that orange.
I'm like,
I'm
I'm
gonna
looking.
get
Yeah,
the oranges going in the chat right now because we got to throw the oranges in the chat right now because for the orange iPhone.
seriously, I'm looking at the Air, and I'm thinking, yeah. That's going to be like a night out phone, because they're talking about, having a low battery life, to before we need to recharge, less camera,
Uh
all of
huh.
those features. I'm thinking, sure, like that's going to be a lifestyle camera. I don't think the people understand what I think Apple are doing with their SKUs, and I think Google, where they've removed the notch entirely,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that. I really love that. I think we really need to get back to the point where we need to stop fussing about. Look at that. I mean, look at the middle one, the copper. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that is so sexy.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is like
with you.
I looked at that phone. I was like, ooh, they made a phone called Dua Lipa.
Yeah, I'm with you on the color. I like the color. We differ in our opinion about the camera bump though. I am not a proponent of the camera bump. I don't like the idea of a camera bump. I am with you in that sense, in that I wish we would go back to the design that did not have a camera bump at all. And I think they could do that if they made some concessions because these cameras are just like Pixel got away with having one camera lens for mad long when everyone else had moved on to 2 and 3 camera lenses because they did it computationally. They found a way to put a smaller camera in there with no camera bump. But the times kind of caught up with Google and they
I'm
had to
gonna
put a better camera in there.
I'm gonna lay down the gauntlet with you. I'm gonna like give you some homework to do.
Okay, let's hear it.
Um, do you have an Apple store near you?
Yes.
All right, go check out the iPhone 16e and
Mm-hmm.
go check out the Google budget cat the phone, the one that with
The A
the
series. I've seen
the,
both.
the play with them. I would argue that you're at the point now that unless it's a pro model where
Mm-hmm.
you're using those phones to shoot 28 years later or whatever the hell you're doing with those phones, you don't
Listen,
need.
you crap on that right now. I think that's an impressive feat that they did that. If you guys don't
No, no,
know,
no. You
they
don't
shot a
understand
movie
me.
using iPhones, and they
I,
did a good job.
I, I agree. It is an impressive feat, but
Mhm.
for the standard user, for people like you and me, I don't think we need three cameras and a bump. I would argue that people
I
like you
agree.
and me, especially you,
Hmm.
like we need no notch on the back. We need a slightly thinner, slightly thicker phone with more battery
Hmm.
life,
Hmm.
more processing power, so
Hmm.
that you can do all of those things with the cloud and computing that you want to do.
Yep.
But we only need one camera, one really
Yeah,
good camera. That's all we need.
I
All we
agree.
need.
I agree. I like I said, I think the beginning Pixels did it the right way. They had
Yeah.
one camera, no camera bump, but they made it work with computation. They I really love the way they did that. And like I said, and for those years, they dominated the camera situation for years with that one camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can be done. It can be done.
It's just the big problem that they have these days, and it's like it's across the industry as a whole.
Hmm.
Um, they're struggling to find anything interesting to do with their phones because they're all a slab of glass. It's like the Pixel and the iPhone. I would struggle to tell the difference between them these days without looking at the back.
Yeah. Well, and
Like,
that's the thing,
uh,
and that's why I think you're saying I don't really care about them. They're not fun because they're all the same if you're looking at them from the front. It's only till you turn them over, and even that is becoming parody because as you just
yeah,
talked about earlier, all the camera bumps are starting to be the visor type of bump, with the exception of Samsung. Samsung's bucking that trend. They're like, we're not turning our visor the vertical way. We're going the horizontal way. We're going vertical, boys. We're going vertical with this
dude,
camera.
take a look at Nothing phones.
Mm,
Like
yeah,
they do some genuinely interesting stuff, like with their glyph concept to like alert you to when you've got calls and texts and things like that. Like they're genuinely really cool with
yeah,
their
yeah.
design concepts, and they do something interesting with their phones.
You know
And
what?
it,
I'm gonna go
oh,
ahead and take a look at that too when we get done here. I'm gonna pull up those Nothing phones.
They are. They're just moving into flagship territory. I think they released the Nothing Phone 3 this year, where
Hmm.
they were like mid-range. So like this is the crazy thing. Like they're not going toe to toe with your Pro Max models and things like that.
No.
But what they are doing is they're producing solid phones that have decent computing power that give you everything you need in a phone,
Agreed. 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 And that's why I want to.
and
And
they
that's why
look
I
good.
want to take a look at them because I think that they're an interesting entry, and I like simple, and they're doing simple too. They're doing
Yeah.
essentials. Essential. I won't say simple. They're doing essentials, and I really do like that. I really like that. And
I
for those
think
who wants just catching up on the conversation, we're talking about the phones becoming into parity with each other, talking about the camera bumps and our disdain and dislike for the ever evolving camera bump. But I do like the new pixel camera bump. I want to make that opinion known.
I think in my heart of hearts, as someone who appreciates aesthetics, I kind of miss the old days when smartphones were just coming into being, when you had HTC and Samsung playing around with different styles, and you had
Hmm.
LG and Nokia playing with their phones, and you had some really funky designs, Even Google with the Nexus range, they were
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
some really interesting stuff.
I
You
think we
you
talked about
know?
that not too long ago too. Very very interesting stuff.
Whereas these days it's like, well, let's just charge them 2 grand for this and hope they don't bitch and whine too much.
Well, listen, I'm bitching and whining. I am. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do
I,
it.
I
But
am. I'm like, you want my money? Okay, you can't do anything interesting on the outside. What you can do on the inside is
mhm,
you can give me more storage, you can give me more processing power, you can do compelling things with the software to make it more usable.
yeah,
Give me services to go along with it because I use
there you
iCloud.
go.
I'm an Apple One subscriber. You know,
I
I
think
think that,
services is where it's at.
services is definitely where it's
Hmm.
at. I think Apple knows that.
Yeah.
Um, I think Google are starting to key into it. The problem is that nobody trusts them.
And Google's so engineer based that they can't even wrap their head around that whole
Right.
concept. So
Uh, they're like Linux from the 90s. They have no concept of how to make things user friendly. Like, have you ever tried the Google Drive app?
uh yeah. I love Google Drive.
It's it's not
What are we
it's not
getting at here,
user
Owen?
friendly. It's not user
Oh no
friendly.
no no
It's
no no
it's
no
like
no! I wouldn't call it that. I wouldn't call it user friendly. It's definitely not user friendly. But I definitely
you know
like what I do like about Google Drive, and I'll say this real quick, and I'm gonna get out here and move on to the next story, Owen. But
yeah.
real quick, but I will say this about Google Drive. Google Drive is it's proliferated most other pieces of software, and that's its power to me right now. How do you feel about that?
Yes, but it's overpriced for what it is.
Mm, mm, mm. Agreed.
Like,
Okay.
I mean, that the difference is with Apple One, I'm paying £38 a month, but for that I'm getting Apple Music, I'm getting Apple News, I'm getting 2 terabytes of cloud storage,
Hmm.
I'm getting Apple Arcade. Apple Arcade. Sorry, I
For
just
whatever that's
remembered I
worth.
had
Yeah. Yeah.
that. But I'm getting all of those services for £38, whereas with Google you're just getting Gemini and 2 terabytes of storage.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
And
Good
then
point.
doing
Good point.
nothing with the other services, and it's like it's a waste. It's a
Well,
waste. It's
I think the
they
service as
should
a
be leveraging
whole.
that with their hardware.
Agreed. I think the service as a whole could be better, but I think its proliferation is what makes it good. As
Yeah.
far as it's you can almost get files from Google Drive into anything these days, and I think that's where. Well, listen,
I,
thank you for the conversation, Owen. I'm going to move on to this next story here.
I
Thank you as always, though, for coming to the call in section and making it worth me doing this in the air. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
catch you later, man. Bye.
All right, take care. All right, everyone. That's our good friend Owen. Oh no. That's our good friend Owen there. Appreciate Owen for being here doing that. He's always got some good opinions, and I love hearing him. Always good perspective, and just being also in a different country, just that whole dynamic makes it very interesting as well. Let's get to the chat real quick before we go on to the next story, though. That's kind of building up on us over here. Agreed. For what most folks use cameras for, post to socials, the megapixels captured is way too high and just fills your cloud space. Exactly, Duroc. I think we've gotten, like, these pictures on these phones have gotten so good that for what we're doing with them, again, just posting to social media, it's overkill. It's overkill. A good case in point is how when MP3s were, and I've said this before on the live show, how MP3s were a step up, right? We used MP3s, and then we figured out that we can get higher quality music, right? With CDs, super CDs, ultra DVDs, DVD music on DVDs, which allowed you to store more information, which allowed for more channel dispersion. But the point is, with all of those technologies that came and went for being used to share music, MP3 wasn't the best quality. Like, MP3s aren't the best quality. But right now, for sharing music, MP3 is the standard. Not because it's the best sounding, but because it's the most convenient. It's good enough for what we do with it. We're not like, most people aren't playing their music on $20,000 stereo systems. They've got some headphones on, or they're playing them on their phone. You know what I mean? Where that quality would not be discernible in most cases, unless you have a $3,000 pair of headphones, those differences wouldn't be discernible. So MP3 won out because of the convenience. It's good enough, and it's super convenient. It's easy to transfer the files. So I think that the phones are going to become the same way. We're going to get to a point to where they're pushing the megapixels, and then we're going to get to a point to where they're like, why are we doing this? This is good enough for what people are doing with these things. Why we can now make these devices smaller, because the camera is legitimately one of the only reasons phones are as wide as they are right now. And I think that'll change. Once we reach a certain point, but we clearly haven't gotten there yet. Aaron says, no need. All three cameras keep Ian away from the iPhone design team. Wow. Hold on. Let's go up here. I missed something clearly. There would be no iPhone slandering on Wednesday. LOL. Aaron, I didn't wake up hoping to slander iPhone. I don't even have iPhone on the docket. I don't know how we got here. Owen is how we got here. You blame Owen for that. That would have been so nice, Mike. Rather than bulky laptop for 90% emails, just plug a phone into your workstation. Seems efficient to just use the computer we're carrying anyways. Yes, The Rock. Thank you. You guys see what I'm saying? You see the future that I'm envisioning? Your phone could just be that thing. You have it with you all the time. Legit, all the time anyway. Have it be that everything. And phones are so powerful. Come on, man. We could do it, world. Listen, hold on. Can I get closer than what I am right now? Can I zoom in? We're gonna try to software zoom in, you guys. If this doesn't work, don't be mad at me. We're gonna try to software zoom in. Can we do that? Can I do a filter that lets me zoom in? Oh boy. I don't have a filter that lets me zoom in, chat. All I got is gain. An expander, a compressor. I got a limit. Oh, these are not even video. That's audio. What am I doing? All right, here we go. Crop. There we go. Here we go. I'm adding crop. We're about to zoom in a little bit. This is not a, oh, it's relative. Chat, this is not, how is this? Oh, no. What is it doing? I messed it up somehow. Can I cancel that? All right, chat, never mind. We clearly can't crop in. I wanted to zoom in for extra added effect, but it's not working. Dr. Ling, how's it going? Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Lurking from working. Oh, okay. Well, glad you could join us. We were just talking about the iPhone, Owen got us talking about the iPhone. We were actually talking about the Pixel launch. If you're not listening to Tay-Tay on a 30K sound system, you're not hearing her divine message. Yo. So if a Sony FX8 versus iPhone, is it too early? Man, Sony FX8 versus iPhone. Man, the Sony FX cameras are their cinema line of cameras. So no, the iPhone can't hold a candle to any of those cameras. Definitely not the FX8. The 30, maybe. The 30 might he might catch up with the 30, but not the 8, bro. Done. DIY zoom. Just lean towards the camera. Oh snap! Oh, here we go. Added effect. But I gotta move the camera. I gotta move the microphone. And we know if I move the microphone, we already talked about what would happen earlier in the show, The Rock. If I move the microphone, bad things happen. And we discerned also that my priorities are not in order. So take that for what it's worth. Okay, all right, moving on. Next things we got about the Made by Google launch here, or event that's going to happen today at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Let's talk about the rest of these things here. We were talking about the prices, and we were done talking about the prices, but we want to talk about some of the details. Android 16. So Android 16 may be something that they're going to launch today too, or maybe talk about launching today. Highlights of Android 16. We got live updates. We got grouped notifications. Who doesn't like grouping? I like groups of people. That's good. That's a good time. VIP contacts, which basically isn't really new. They're just adding more information to a person's contact card. Real-time information. I guess that's useful. I guess it's useful. Material 3 UI. Now that is what I want to see, but that ain't coming until September. Who cares? Learning aid enhancements or hearing aid enhancements. So if people who are using hearing aids that have Bluetooth connectivity, you can now use your phone's microphone instead of the crappy hearing aid microphone. Now, I'm not calling it the hearing aid microphone crappy. This is by all accounts. They called it. They didn't call it crappy in the article, but they said it wasn't good, and enough so that you probably would want to use your phone's microphone. And if you wanted to do that, you could do that if you have a LE audio microphone on your hearing aid. That works. So I think that's very cool. Anytime they add any kind of functionality to actually any kind of accessibility functionality to a device that has so much compute power, it's a no-brainer. We talk about accessibility a lot on this show and how it can, like everyday accessibility items like consumer products like this could be an aid for people who need that kind of assistance. Why not use it for that purpose, right? Why not build those things right into these products that we have already anyway, and that cost a fraction of the cost of these dedicated medical devices, right? As long as these things are approved, why not use them, right? And this is one of those things that you could definitely take advantage of if you have LE audio style microphones and your hearing aids. So I think that's great. Trade-in mode. And these are all features that are coming to Android 16. Trade-in mode. So if you're trading in your phone, they're going to have software in Android 16 that would do a diagnostic on the phone and help the tech who's going to be taking the trade-in understand what the actual condition and health of the product is, which will streamline a lot of this trade-in, a lot of the trade-in procedures that we go through right now for when you're trading in a phone. I'll be going through this in probably another couple weeks. So very interesting. I like that. What do we got here? Tensor G5 chip. Who cares? The Tensor chips were never meant to be power horses. They were never meant to be. I said power horses. They're never meant to be horsepower driven type of chips. They're just AI chips. They're made and designed to make AI be the most efficient it can be, and for it to do the most effective AI computation it can. Not for really raw horsepower. I got it right that time. So a lot of people talk about its benchmark abilities. I'm like, who cares about the benchmarks? Does it run the AI task like it should? That's what I care about. I want a future to where we're using cell phones as our main computer, right? But we're not at that future yet. So until they do, that's what we have. What do we got in the chat here? Android 16 has new multitask tools like Dex. Awesome. Okay, cool. I like that too. Thank you for throwing that in there, Rock. Google Home Assistant is so trash. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's interrupting me during the show. Get a life, Assistant. Get a life. Thanks for that, Rock. Yes, Dex software. is coming to Android 16. That would be very cool. I've heard of something about that, but I didn't know it was Dex. Oh, well, you're saying like Dex. They're going to have a desktop environment. Very cool. I like that. All right, I think that we're caught up with the chat, and we're done with the Made by Google event. So let's go on to the other topic we have here, which is going to be, Spotify's latest feature lets you add your own transitions to playlists. Now, how many of you guys out there use Spotify? We got Spotify users here? If you do use Spotify, let me know how you feel about the service. I don't use Spotify, but I want to use Spotify. And the reason I want to use Spotify is because Spotify has an AI DJ. Yeah, it sounds silly. I get it. You're like, Rod, why do you care about an AI DJ? I just want something to pick the music for me and give me some context. Why you picked that song, what the song means to me. Do I have history with this song? I may not know the history. Pull those tidbits out for me. This is the promise of an AI DJ, at least in my mind. I have no idea because I've never used one. I think this is how they work. Now, Google has a music service. I'm just waiting for them to bring an AI DJ to their service. So I haven't used it. But if you guys have used it, let me know how you feel about Spotify as a service and Spotify AI DJ as a service. Does it work for you? Does it unearth music that you haven't heard? Does it give you context on the music? These are things I want to know. I got to know. I'm curious. But talking about this story right here, though, the specifics of this particular thing is we're going to actually go over a little bit of this article before we get into the final details. So Spotify is introducing a new feature that will allow subscribers to create more professional, personalized playlists. On Tuesday, the company launched a custom transitions feature that lets you either automatically add transitions between playlists, tracks, or customize your own using preset options like fade, rise, or blend, along with other options. To use the feature, open any playlist and select Mix from the toolbar and begin editing. While customizing the track with different transition styles, you can also adjust settings for things like volume, EQ, and effects, and use the waveform and beat data to find the best spot in each track to begin the transition. That's pretty cool. Spotify notes that it automatically displays the key and the beats per minute for each track to make it easier for novice audio mixers to get started. Yeah, because this is not going to be for novices, in my opinion. You're going to have to be a power user to care about such things, to go in there and change them and tweak them yourself. So I don't think this is going to be for everybody, but for the people who are interested in this kind of thing, this is cool. The new options are designed to appeal to playlist experts, exactly, and other music fans who have collectively created nearly 9 billion playlists on Spotify's platform to date. Very interesting stat. Out of you guys that have Spotify, are you creating playlists? Are you a part of that 9 billion? The rollout complements other updates Spotify has launched over the past year that give users more control over their listening experience. The company says like tools to add, sort, and edit playlists, customize the genre of the Discovery Weekly playlist, snooze tracks, make voice requests of the AI DJ, which is new to me. I knew there was an AI DJ. Yes, I did not know you could query the AI DJ. Do I need Spotify now? And more. It also allows Spotify to compete with Apple Music's upcoming auto mix feature, which is currently live on the iOS 26 developer beta and claims to let you mix like a DJ. I highly doubt that. Premium subscribers with access to the transitions feature will also be able to save and share the playlist with other friends on social media, or even invite other subscribers to collaborate on a mixed playlist. The mix can be toggled on and off at any time by pressing the mix option, allowing you to turn your playlist back to the traditional kind when the party or gym workout or whatever else you're streaming the mix for has ended. The company recommends that. Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. We won't go into that far detail. So, basically, playlists, customization. Do we use them? Like I said, I think this is just going to be for power users. But it is very interesting that they're adding this kind of functionality because it's going to come to other streaming services as well. Maybe not, because I don't know another streaming service, a popular one that uses AI DJs, which I think is a no-brainer. Why not use the AI DJ? Come on, people. Come on. In the chat, we got AI DJ is I. That says Dr. Ling. I use Spotify for mainstream and lo-fi music. Okay. I don't like Google Music for finding new music. Google Music is trash for finding new music. How's Spotify for finding new music, Dr. Ling? The Rock says, I'll check out the AI DJ because my main problem with Spotify is that it's good for set playlists, but not great at finding new music. Oh, The Rock just answered my question. I'm looking for a service that's good at finding new music. That's my main purpose. Like my main thing right now for these AI, or not even AI, for these streaming services is who's going to put me onto new music that I wouldn't normally find myself. That's what I'm most interested in right now. I know what I like. I can just pick what I like, but can you surface something that I don't know that I might like? Huh? Put me onto a new artist that I would definitely like that I don't know exists. You know, we're in a world that's increasingly getting more overcrowded by artists. There's a new one every millisecond. Maybe some good ones crop up that I don't know about that might slip through the cracks. So yeah, I want stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I want. Of course, that means I'll get algorithm anxiety, of course. Like on YouTube, I'm so selective about what I watch as not to upset the algorithm and start getting trash home screen. Exactly. That's why I have a YouTube profile for all of my likes. Movies, music, tech. Well, I wouldn't say eInk specifically, but tech and eInk starting to proliferate that a little more. Motos, hi. Thanks for the shout out on your last stream. I appreciate it. No problem, Motos. I appreciate you for being here. Thanks. Gotta hit up the homies for new music. Yeah, listen. That's what I have to do now. But you know what's bad for me, Dr. Ling, is that I have such a weird taste in. Am I still here? Okay. I have such a weird taste in music. I'm a middle-aged dude. You know what I'm saying? I like the ratchet stuff too, though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a refined middle-aged dude, but I like the ratchet music as well. Sometimes I'm just in the mood for something ratchet, and I'll go put on some Sexy Red, or maybe I'll go throw on some R.I.P. XXXTentacion. I might go listen to some XXX. I don't know. Then I might go listen to some Boy George. Then I might go listen to some Bobby Brown. Yeah, I still listen to Bobby Brown. Then I might go listen to, I don't know, Cyndi Lauper. Then I might come back and go listen to some Jimi Hendrix. I'll listen to some Hendrix. Then I might go listen to some Red House. Anybody? Hey Joe. Hey Joe. One of my favorite songs. Anyway, I have such a weird taste in music too. My friends are like, bro, I can only help you out if you're trying to find new music in the genre of guy or Babyface or After 7. These are all older R&B acts, you guys, if you don't know. That's what my friends in my age group are on, and still on today. Old school hip hop, Wu-Tang Clan. Who else we got? Old school hip hop. Big Daddy Kane. 2 Live Crew. I still listen to those too, but like I said, I listen to the new dudes. I'm with who else we got? I'm with 4 Bats. I listen to 4 Bats. I listen to who else we got here? I listen to Trippie Redd. I listen to who's big. Come on, I still listen to Drake. Okay, the mainstreams, Drake, Kendrick. Okay, I listen to those two, but I listen to the underground dudes as well. Earl Sweatshirt. Who else we got underground? I mean, Frank Ocean ain't really underground, but I consider him kind of underground. You know, so going to my friends for music is not the way. Spotify saying, hey, we see your eclectic nature. We see you really don't know what you should be listening to. You're everywhere. We recognize that everywhereness about you. We're going to give you something that we may think you might like. because it's of the everywhere culture that you're in right now. It's seemingly. Is AI that smart? Can it do that these days? I don't know. I don't know. If you guys are liking the show today, hit the like button. If you want to see more stuff like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. I hope you're enjoying it. And get some tech news. I hope you're learning something too, because that's what we're here for. Spread the news and the learning. Aaron says, you're in Philly. It's a requirement to listen to Bobby Brown. Right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Remember Pandora? I like how that worked. More like radio stations with very specific music types. I did like Pandora. Pandora was good, The Rock. Very good. But Owen says, but never R. Kelly. No, I'm good. They don't even play R. Kelly at the family reunions no more. So some reggaeton, okay. Moto's like, okay, rock. Yeah, I'm with the reggaeton too. Listen, you take me out to Toronto, it's a good time out there. They listen to the reggaeton out there in Toronto like it's Jamaica. So yeah, they party like it's Jamaica in Toronto. So yeah, I'm with that. And then I might come back and go listen to some salsa. Come back and listen to some Afro beats. Just listen, come on now, chill out. I'm with everything. And then I'll come back and listen to some Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, listen, I don't care what people got to say about Taylor Swift. She's one of the most prolific people in the world to me. She said something the other day that I thought was awesome. She was like, treat your time like it's a luxury item. Everyone can't afford it. I'm like, what? Taylor Swift, prolific. She deserves a Pulitzer. like, wow. Anyway, Merengue, there we go. Tay, my queen. Oh, he pulled out Earl Sweatshirt. Yeah, Earl Sweatshirt, Aaron. You know, listen, I listen to everything. Everything. If it's good music, I'm listening. I am listening. All right, let's go ahead and move on to here. What other story we got here? I think we've killed the Spotify playlist deal. Next thing we got up here is going to be Apple's upcoming Pro Mac Mini might be a tiny gaming powerhouse if rumors around the M5 chip are true. I believe all rumors around every Apple M chip ever released, with the exception of the M3. Well, I'm lying. The M3 is good too. They just went to a cheaper process with the M4. They were like, oh, it's too expensive to produce these M3s. If you got an M3, you count your lucky stars. You got a special chip. You got to have the M3 Ultra. Sorry. If you got the M3 Ultra, you got a special chip. You got a special one. They're not making listen, they spared no expense on that chip. Everything else is bargain basement comparatively. Moving on though. I'm not a real big, I have a Mac. There we go. MacBook. I'm MacBook Pro in and out. I have a Mac, but I don't game on the Mac. Now listen, back in the day, anybody remember Bootcamp? Huh? How old are you? Huh? Tell me how old you are without telling me how old you are. You remember Bootcamp? Listen, when Bootcamp was around, I was a Mac gaming connoisseur. With Bootcamp, you could just run Windows on your Mac. Your Mac became the best Windows machine ever. Like the MacBook Pros, the 2009s, those were the best PC machines ever made. They had Intel processors in them, so you could run Windows on them, and not virtualized, just run it side by side. You just boot right up into Windows. That's when the Mac gaming was good. But that was enabled by Windows. I don't know how Mac gaming could handle it today. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it could handle it today. But moving on. Barriers to Mac gaming. I don't know about you guys. Do you guys have a Mac? First of all, do you guys game on your Mac? Secondly, and if you are, what are you playing and how? Using Steam? What's going on? Can I jump back in? You're about talking about Apple here. I have to. Yeah, Aaron. I mean Owen. Go ahead and do it. Jump back in anytime you feel like it, bro. I'm still in the the event channel. If you guys don't know, we have a call-in section here that if you have a question or comment about something we're talking about, or you want to bring up a topic that we're not talking about, you can drop into our Discord. Link of the Discord is in the description, but link to directly to the events channel is also in the description. Then you can jump in and raise your hand, and it's like the call-in. I'll see that, and then I'll invite you to talk like I'm about to do with Owen right now. And let's switch over to our call-in section here so we can get Owen up and going. 1 second, Owen. Let me get this switched over here. All right, Owen, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, how's it going?
Do
All
not
right.
believe this.
Yeah.
Do not believe this. Like, do not believe this. It's all cope. It's all hype. It's absolute BS. They are fantasizing. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's my journey over the past year, right? I
Okay.
bought a Mac Mini. I bought an
Which one?
M4
Which one
Pro.
did you? Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I'm getting there, brother. Right. I bought an M4 Mini. I bought an M4 Mini Pro.
Okay.
I've got an M4 Max. And
Oh,
I've got
you're
an
all out
M3.
there, bro.
I've got several M3 Studios because I'm still building my LLM.
Gotcha.
None of them run games the way a PC enthusiast would be happy to. Like if I want to play like Bloons TD6, which by the way you absolutely should. It's addictive as all hell. You
Okay.
really should.
I'm writing it down right
Like
now.
it's great. It's absolutely great. But if you want to play anything like Dawn of War, if you want to play Call of Duty, if you want to do anything on crossover, it's pure cope. It's 30 frames a second. It's absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Unless Apple are talking about upping the amount of memory bandwidth that they have available to the GPU part of the silicon core, it's not a go. Even on the M4 Pro, it's like I wasn't hitting anywhere near 60 frames a second, like none. So for them to say that the M5 is going to be light years ahead of the M4 Mini, that's not the way that incremental improvements work.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's not that
not.
jump from Intel to the M1.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not. I mean, like the M4 was a huge jump from the M1. Like, don't get me wrong.
The
Like the
M4
M1,
was.
the M2, the M4, yeah, like absolutely. Like it was night and day. Like the way my M4 Mini transcodes when I'm doing stuff on my Plex and things like that, it is insanely fast, even on the base spec. The
That's
Pro,
nice.
yeah, like I think it does like an 18 gigabyte file in a little over 35 minutes,
Ooh.
encoding from MP4 to MKV,
Okay.
AV1.
Okay.
So it's like the compression and everything is like no, we don't have to protect Apple from Owen. Like, Owen is he's yeah. I wish I wasn't an Apple sheep, but I am.
Well, I'll say this: I'm not on the bandwagon of any Apple claims until I see the benchmarks. Right, like it's all hype until I see the benchmarks. But the only thing that gets me excited, and the reason I put this story up here today, was because they are talking about the new what is that the new the layer that transcodes um the
Liquid glass.
Unicode to like whatever the x86.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
so they're using some software to do that. I forgot what that is, but they're supposed to be updating that in this particular model, and this particular model is
Oh
only
shit! Oh,
$600.
oh, oh, oh! What was that? Yeah. No, that's it's not going to give the performance that that developers need. Like
Okay.
it's Macs are not fundamentally gaming machines. They were
No,
never
no,
built that way.
no.
They're for productivity. They're to help you to be creative. And I know that sounds extremely snobby, and it is.
Well,
Like,
and that's why I use a Mac. See, for me, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I use my Mac for all my creative work,
yeah,
editing, editing video, pictures. I use it for my modeling work. I use it for all of my my printers that I have. But when I go and do my gaming, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
I got a PC back there for just for that purpose because Macs aren't built for that
I'm
kind of thing. At least not yet.
I'm 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 rebuilding. It's never going to be that way. It's simply never going to be that way because they're always going to focus on them being productivity machines. The only thing I'm surprised about with Apple is that they haven't come out with a replacement for the Apple Pro line yet.
Mm.
And the rumor
You
is
mean
that
the
the
desktop
M5 is,
Pro?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
like the, the cheese grater tower.
yeah, yeah.
Like that's the only one that they haven't replaced yet.
I think they're
Um,
holding their or dragging their feet on that because, I mean, it's really the only system they still have that's modular to any degree, right?
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So I think that's the problem with the Pro right now. They don't want modular systems, but it's the one they have to keep modular because if they
I
didn't
don't
have it that way, people would lose their freaking minds.
I don't agree with that because to a degree, the M4 Mini is actually quite upgradable. Like
Mm,
the only thing that you really need to decide how much you want to invest in your Mac when you're buying it from a store
mm-hmm.
is how much memory you want to put into it.
Right.
I put with my M4 Max, I put 96 gigs of memory into it because I'm Tim Allen. I like power.
Same.
You know,
Same. I think I got the
yeah.
same spec up. Yeah.
But like the minute that that box got to my house, I put third party storage in there. Like so, I really think that they're probably going to come up with like a way to make the Pro SKUs more attractive in terms of allowing more storage expandability, in terms of allowing you to put a GPU in there or something along those lines. I mean, it's not out of the question that they work with AMD. They certainly won't work with Nvidia, but they will work with AMD. So I, I don't
Well, well,
I
won't.
don't think we're ever I don't think we're ever going to see a Mac that does 120 frames gaming like ever. Um,
Whoa. I think this is what I think. I think that they will do that. I just don't think they'll do it with the express intent of gaming. I think they'll do it though.
you think it'll be more like oh, by the way, we can also do this kind of thing.
Exactly, because they're going to tie it in.
Yeah.
They're going to tie it into to their promotion displays, the 4,000 or $5,000 promotion displays. They're going to tie it in some way to that and sell
Okay.
you on how much better it's going to be for productivity.
That would be weird.
Yeah,
The
I think
thing
so
is,
though.
it would just shit can my entire productivity though, because like I'd be playing Age of Empires every day.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right?
Sorry about the swearing, by the way. It's like,
No, I think
and
no, it's okay. I think this is going to be one of those situations where, um, you know, they understand that. They know that's one of the concerns for people with that are getting things done and working on creative projects. I think they understand that, and that's another reason why they won't go all in with the gaming thing because I think
yeah.
if they wanted to, they could find a way to do that, but they're not invested in that being a thing on the Mac right now.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I
Yeah,
just, I think they're happy to leave the PC segment as it is at the moment.
yeah, 100%. Because they could disrupt if they wanted to, but they're not, and probably for good reason for them. For them. All
It's
right, well,
it's
thanks.
interesting. Hold on, it is
Uh,
interesting though because it's worth noting that Microsoft in their last earnings report happened to drop that they've lost something like 500 million users.
For Windows?
Yeah.
Oh, you think that they're transferring or going over to the Mac?
I think that gamers to a degree have kind of had enough of what Windows are doing on Windows 11 because it's not a
Well,
good operating system.
well,
It's
well, you know what? I mean, and I mean, we talk all the time about how people are trying to stay with Windows 10, for what that being one of those reasons they're going to stay with 10 because they like it and they're not convinced that 11 is a true upgrade.
yeah.
And for the high specs requirements and a whole bunch of other reasons, but I do think that regardless of any of the interplay between Apple losing people to Windows, and or for whatever reason they're losing people to um,
I don't think that
or
I
not
don't
Apple
think that
using
that's
I'm saying the other way around. Windows losing people to
all right.
Apple. Uh,
I was gonna say I don't think that's happening because I
yeah, yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
Mac OS's market share has increased to something like 7%, which is quite an increase for them actually. It's
I
you
agree.
know
I
it's
agree with that, and you can see that in the creator space too. A lot of and even if we're just looking at the eInk creator space, a lot of eInk creators have recently switched over from PC to Mac. So you know what I mean. So you can see that play out in real world and stuff too. Is like what we're
sure.
seeing like in the eInk space. So I think it's very interesting, very interesting. But we'll keep an eye on it. And
Um,
thanks again, Owen, for your contribution.
I saw an article you were mentioning the other things. Kindle are moving to the no who was it? I'll find the article. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. Hold on. Here we go.
Oh,
Uh,
send it to me.
Amazon
Send it
goes
through
after. Yeah. I'll send it to you now. Okay,
mhm.
I'm going. I'm gonna link it to you in your IMs.
Okay, yeah, yeah, definitely send it to me in the Discord there. All right, thanks Owen again for coming through for the call in section of the show. Listen, we're trying to get this thing going, and Owen is helping me do this. So I appreciate you, Owen. Thank you again. Let's go to the chat real quick before we go on to this next portion of the show here. Thanks, Aaron. You're awesome. I appreciate Aaron for the I think this is a super chat or super thanks. No, it's a super chat. I really thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Aaron's one of the valued members of the channel and of the Discord. I really appreciate him and all his contributions. So thank you very much. Intel handles files better for games. Apple handles audio video files is faster. The old Intels before the jump to M chips are still fast, but not faster than M2. No, absolutely not, BM. I agree with you on that one. I blindly just buy Apple products. I cranked the Kool-Aid. I drank the Kool-Aid. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with drinking the Kool-Aid, Aaron. I drank the Apple Kool-Aid for a very long time. It's good. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. The Kool-Aid was just starting to be made by someone other than Tim or Apple. I said Tim Apple. The Kool-Aid is now being made by someone other than my boy Steve Jobs. So I was good. I'm like, he's not making the Kool-Aid no more. I'm good to go. I don't care how good it tastes. But but again, for use cases, we still got the Mac here. Oh, I gotta stop doing that. That wasn't smart. Let me stop it. What do we got here for BM? Linux won in Europe, like Germany. They left Microsoft for servers and everything. Linux is cheaper and easier to use. Agreed there. Most corporations use a version of Linux for their back end stuff. Owen says, check your messages. At BM up. No, I use Mac OS. Tim Apple. Yeah. I pulled a Trump. and, and Dr. Ling caught that. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, I pulled a Trump. I totally pulled a Trump with the Tim Apple. Oh my God, that was hilarious. I thank you for bringing that back up. I gargle Tim's plums. All right, we're moving on, chat. We got our laugh for the day. All right, let's move on to the eNote story. We're gonna fly through these because we're already gone over our hourly allotted time here for the day. So let's get to some eNote stories. First thing is I want to talk about the eNote 2. The eNote 2 is supposed to launch today, everybody. I'm trying to get information from Penstar about what's going on with this. It's being delayed for a little bit, which means my video for it won't be able to launch until it launches. So I can't release the video today like I had hoped. But I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on with it as soon as I get me some email. You know what? Let me just check the email right now. I won't do that because it'll mess up something on the system. And we all know I can't handle things on the fly. So I'll let you guys know information tomorrow about what's going on with that. So we'll get to that then. But just because we don't have that eNote stuff to talk about, which is what I had planned today, we got Reddit. Yay! Reddit. Woohoo! Reddit. Let's do some Reddit. We got Reddit articles here to talk about. So I just picked a bunch of random Reddit things from my feed today, from the Rants About Tech feed, not my feed, from the Rants About Tech feed. Is it worth it? I'm a lawyer wondering whether to add a remarkable into the mix, looking for honest reviews, ideally from people who work in the legal progression. Also, okay. I currently use a Surface Pro, which I love, but I really don't like using the pens, so I mostly use it as a laptop. Okay, so main questions are, I like the idea of converting writing to text, but not sure how good the technology is. Not as good as you would want it to be, bro. Is there an option for uploading templates? Yes, there is. If so, how long does it take to import documents? It's not very long. It's pretty quick. If you got Connect, yeah, and you're paying for it, sir. Can you have multiple separate page documents open at the same time? No. Is it easy to switch between? No. Yes. No. Is there a necessity for a keyboard, especially if importing, exporting documents? No, but if you're a lawyer using this thing, you're gonna want the keyboard, bro. Does it work well enough for this without the subscription? No, you need the subscription. I think that's it for him. We got anything on this, you guys? Shing says, LOL, Aaron, would you love to hear your spicy opinions anyways? Aaron says, I would call in to live, but all my topics will just start a fight in Discord. No, start the fight in Discord. Call into the live, Aaron. We need to hear them. We need a fight in Discord. Other than me and Ed's fight. we need a second fight. ON Knight is trying running different OSs. It could make the difference with speed if software is compatible, says BM. That's Owen and BM's conversation. I won't go into that. Yeah, Aaron, we're here for the live chat if you're here for it. Matter of fact, let me take myself off of here. You let us know, bro. I'm here. All right, next one. Modos eInk 75 megahertz allows to even play games. I don't know if you could. Let's see. Are we playing games on here? I don't know if we're playing games on here, but I like the music. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I like this. Dude, this is cool. Tell me this ain't cool. On eInk. Tell me that is not just magical. I don't know why there's something cool about this above and beyond it just looking good. But just knowing what's happening, I guess, with the pixels, it's like, man, I love this. I love that. All right, we ain't got to watch all of it, but I do love that. I do love that. What's the thing here? Absolutely beautiful. The Motos YT YouTube channel has a few more outstanding live streams published, but this one takes the cake. Yeah, that one's good. I do like that one. Holy. Yeah, I love that. What do we think, chat? Was that good? You guys don't care about it looking good. All I'm hearing is that Remarkable sucks. Oh, boy. Owen. Yeah, I thought that looked good. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Anybody order one recently to U.S.? We're talking about the Supernote here. How long did it take to ship? And has there been any tariffs? Keep hearing they ship via DHL, who overcharges on tariffs. Anybody order and receive it recently? We have any Supernote orders that came in recently, chat? Anybody order a Supernote recently and know about this tariff situation? I don't know. I do know that the last few shipments I've gotten from Rada wasn't through DHL though. They came through FedEx, which I love because DHL would require you to have a signature, and I'm like, dude, you want me to just sit at my door waiting for a dumb DHL person? Not all DHL people are dumb, but the one that comes to my house, dumb as a rock. This dude don't knock at the door. He don't ring the doorbell. He comes and he looks at the door. And if you don't come to the door while he's looking at it for the 3 seconds that he looks at it, he turns around and walks away and takes your package with him. Oh my God. That guy. Oh. We're moving on. What else we got here? Looking for recommendations for a lawyer. I think we already did that one. New to resin printing. What's the question, bro? Been FDM printing for about 7 years. Today I scored my first resin printer, Photon Mono 2, from my local bin store, and I'm stoked that recommendations you guys have. What recommendations do you guys have? And yes, paid $12 plus tax for it. $12? For a resin printer? My recommendation was to go buy another resin printer. Because that thing is broken. That's my first suggestion. Go buy a printer that works, because that clearly is not going to work. Unless the people who had it didn't know what they had. Then again, listen, I would be hard pressed to buy a used resin printer, knowing what I do to mine. It's resin in a vat with a film. Listen, you're gonna have to change that film immediately. I don't know if it's worth it. You may have just wasted $12. You could have went and bought a sandwich and gotten better value, in my opinion. We're moving on. Manta versus Onyx versus iPad. All right, we can just cut this out of there, and now we're just left with Manta versus Onyx, because the iPad shouldn't even be in this conversation. It's like saying, do I want a Ford M150, a Dodge Ram, or a Lamborghini? I mean, there's no parity there. All right, moving on. I am starting my PhD and wanted to replace the notebooks I carry for classrooms to take notes, since I always have to ship them and can't get them digitized. My main choice at the moment is the Supernote Manta, since I have read so many nice reviews about the feel and usability. But then many other reviews say that the book's Onyx is actually better to install apps for citations and actually use it for academic purposes. Yeah, bruh. I mean, there's a lot of books products, but yeah, I might agree with that. What do you think, chat? Going to the chat real quick. As a Remarkable Paper Pro owner, I acknowledge Remarkable kind of sucks, but I still like the hardware. That is all right. So let me ride in to defend Remarkable. I feel like I have to do it from time to time, and this is one of those occasions. The Remarkable is nobody can touch the hardware on the Remarkable, the 2 or the Pro. I don't care which one you pick. The hardware is immaculate. Nobody can claim to have better hardware. Nobody, in my opinion. If they say that, they're capping. Period. But I think that the design of it is intentional. It's not as feature rich as other eInk devices, but I think that's by design. They're keeping it simple for a specific audience. I talk about the bell curve all the time. They're serving the bell curve, not the extremes on the end. They're serving the bell curve itself, the bulky end, the mainstream audience. That's who they're after. And for that, I think they do a good job. It's not going to be for everybody, but then what eInk device is, you know? What else we got here? And I feel like I don't know anymore what I want, and blah, 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 blah. I read a lot and want to be able to read. If you're doing academic stuff, I think the Onyx, the books platform is going to be the choice. If your main thing is I'm doing just like straight academic stuff, I'm not just taking notes that I want to organize later, or I mean academia, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to pick something over the books because of the combination of really nice note taker and probably the best e-reader app. So, books firmware version 4.1 official for Go. Who cares? Who cares? Which eInk devices are most likely to get a refresh this October? Ooh, this is interesting. What do we think, chat? The Go 10.3? I hope not. I hope they let this rock for another year like they did with the Tab Mini C. Although I think the Tab Mini C is getting refreshed soon. Aaron in the chat says, at this point, books is a better tablet when you look at what you get for the money you pay. 100% agree. I think Remarkable gets a bad rep because some of the creators kind of trash the platform, in my opinion. I like the Remarkable platform. I can understand what they're doing. I don't hate that Connect stuff, though. I don't like, charge me a premium for the device, but don't charge me for the backup features and syncing features. Like, what do you want me to do with the device if I can't sync? That's the point here. I want them digitized so I can do things with them. What am I doing with them without Connect? Nothing. So, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's my one and only gripe with Remarkable is the Connect service. I don't care whether they call it the Go 10.3 version 2 or the Note Air 5, by the way, black and white. I just want this product launched. Everyone wants an update to the 10.3. I don't, though. I think it's good the way it is. I think if they do anything, it's just you're gonna be paying for a different. It's well with the Note Air 3C and the Note Air 4C, there was tangible differences. So maybe if they don't have tangible differences, I don't care. Therefore, I believe the 10.3-inch black and white e-ink display with a front light is a most likely device to be announced. The Go 10.3 is the only device in the current lineup without the latest Android version, making it a strong candidate for a refresh. That might be a reason. But do you need a new device for that? I don't know. Collider iteration sometimes unlikely. I don't know. I think the Tab Mini C is a shoe-in for this year, for somewhere soon. It's been 2 years, so the Tab Mini C to me is a shoe-in. I hope not the Go 10.3, but if they did, I wouldn't be mad at it. I'd understand it. I just hope not. I want to rock out with that for another year before I feel compelled to replace it. How to transfer files from old Nomad to new Nomad. I think it's as simple as backing up and having it sync. Am I wrong, chat? Somebody let me know. Viwood's Mini Feel Right 2 on the 2 Nomad. Has anyone tried putting the Feel Right 2 Nomad protector on the Viwood's Mini? They look the same size. I think Jay did this. And I haven't heard Jay complain about any surface that he put the Feel Right 2 on, so I'd say it's pretty good. Books Tab XC or Note Air 4C? Note Air 4C if you're writing. If you're not writing, the Books Tab XC. It's as simple as that gets. Should I have manufacturer sign an NDA before I send designs? Ooh, always. The only reason you wouldn't do that is if you have something so like minimal, and that's part of a larger thing that has many moving parts that no one will be able to know what that's for anyway. Then who cares? But if they're making the whole thing for you, yeah, NDA, bro, all the way. Is there a 2025 Nova Air successor? I don't think so. Kindle on A6X not working. Okay, I don't know about that. Okay, that's it. Wow, chat. We're moving today. We're gonna go up. Oh, let's put this up. Oh, open. Amazon goes after the iPad market as it plans $400 Android tablet. Owen sent me this story right here. I don't think no one's coming after the iPad market on their first attempt at something. You're just cannibalizing something else you have on the market or you're going after somebody else who is not the iPad, but you're not going after the iPad with something that's new on the market that hasn't proven itself to be even remotely close to it. That's just my opinion. But we never know. I mean, my money is never against Amazon, but highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. What else we got here? I think that's it. We're going to hit up the chat before we get out of here, though. I think the Remarkable gets a bad rep. It does. The AI Paper Mini is bigger than the Nomad, so you'd have to cut it. You'd have to cut that Feel Right 2 film for the Nomad. Very interesting. Oh, bigger than the Nomad, so never mind. It won't fit it. Okay, good to know. All right, everyone. That's going to be the show for today. I really appreciate everyone for joining me today. The Rock says Amazon going after the iPad market is like Apple going after PC. Exactly. The Rock. That's the way I feel about that. Thanks you guys for joining me. This is Rants About Tech Live. We do this every day from Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. We talk about the day's tech stories, eInk stories, and some maker stuff occasionally as well. Join us if you liked this kind of content. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. What else we got? Tomorrow we're going to talk about the Made by Google event more. We're also going to talk about the eNote news that I failed to get today, but I got them in the email, so hopefully we get that. All right, everybody. Until next time, you guys have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.